boys and girls. It's Stuart A. Swerdlow, and welcome to Mr. Stewie's Neighborhood. Mr. Stewie has been shoveling all week and several times today, and Mr. Stewie's back hurts really bad, which makes Mr. Stewie really cranky. But in order to make me happy again, let's go see if my viewers have sent me presents. Let's go outside in the very cold and snowy air. The week before Christmas. So here we go. Are you ready? Let's go to the mailbox. You can see some of Mr. Stewie's snow walls. But be careful while you're walking because it's kind of slippery. Yeah, I couldn't get all the snow off the driveway. I'm so excited. I can't wait to open the mailbox and see what's inside. There's nothing inside, and Mr. Stewie shoveled all the snow away so Mr. Mailman could deliver things, but there's nothing. That makes Mr. Stewie even more cranky. Well, you can see some of my snow walls over here. Aren't they beautiful? I think they're the best snow walls in Michigan. Well, it's kind of cold out here, probably minus umpteen degrees, and that's in Celsius. So let's go back inside, because Mr. Stewie's getting really cranky from his pain and not having any presents. So let's go back. By the way, anybody want to come here and shovel? Janet will make you really nice food. Of course, I was thinking my back pain could be from when Mrs. Stewie hits me with that lead pipe sometimes. That could cause some of the pain. See how nice and neat my snow walls are? Be careful coming up the steps. It's very slippery. Oh, sounds like Mr. Neighbor starting up his snowblower. Well, I guess it's time to film the podcast, so it's time to see Mrs. Stewie. Be back in a minute. Hi everybody, it's Stuart A. Swerdlow.
And Janet Diane Moria Swerdlow.
And this is the Expansions News Podcast. The week before Christmas and all through the house, not a present was in my mailbox, not even a freaking mouse.
I have to speak to the cats. They bring us nice sometimes.
Actually, you know what?
What?
I have to tell the truth. See this?
Mm-hmm.
My son Jonathan gave that to me.
Mm-hmm.
See this?
Mm-hmm.
Our friend in England sent this for my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And you see this? This shirt? This was handmade by a friend of ours in Switzerland.
Mm-hmm. And wasn't this a gift?
Well, this was not from it. That was from a year ago.
Yeah,
birthday.
but it was a gift.
But that was a year ago birthday. So, hopefully you'll see my podcast I just did, Mr. Stewie's Neighborhood, and we went to the mailbox to find presents.
Mm-hmm.
Did I find any? Watch the video and find out. But the reason I don't have a lot of news right now, like no news, is because I have spent the last umpteen weeks every day, 2-3 times a day, shoveling what? Global warming. Yeah, I've been shoveling global warming off my driveway. It's not even winter yet. I have no place else to put the global warming. Okay, it's like up to my chin. So, you can take it from there, Janae.
All right. I just have a couple of stories as we get closer into the holidays. I know how busy you are, so we're not going to give you a lot of things, but enough to keep you going. So one of the things that I told you about last time was all the allegations that Russia interfered in the U.S. elections.
I know, they just blame Russia for everything.
Well, now,
someone has diarrhea, they blame Russia for that.
Speaking of which, we have in the UK former cabinet minister Ben Bradshaw, who suggested that Russia's involvement in the Syrian conflict is part of a wider bid to destabilize the free world. How about that? He said that it's highly likely that Vladimir Putin used cyber warfare to influence the result of the EU referendum.
Oh, please.
He said driving huge numbers of refugees out of Syria into the rest of the world is a deliberate part of that plan.
Yeah, he sent Russian buses to Syria. They, all right, get on, we're going to take you to Europe. Just hold your breath when we get to the Mediterranean.
So this former cabinet minister, Ben Bradshaw, continued by telling the House of Commons, quote, "What Putin cannot achieve militarily, he will achieve through cyber and technological warfare," end quote. Then asked if he was concerned about the Kremlin interfering in the Brexit vote, he continued, quote, "I don't think that we have even begun to wake up to what Russia is doing when it comes to cyber warfare.
Gee, they're so powerful.
Not only now their proven interference in the American presidential campaign, probably in our own referendum last year. We don't have the evidence for that yet, but I think it's highly probable."
Of course, because we'll invent it.
Then he went on to suggest that Russian hackers were planning to be involved in the upcoming elections in France and Germany.
I hope they are.
Certainly in the French general election they will be involved, he said.
The French.
And then he said there are already serious concerns in the German Secret Service that Russia is interfering in the elections coming up.
We think that the Russians are interfering.
But you know, it was interesting because during the Cold War they talked about the psychic warfare. Now they're moving it up to the cyber
Okay,
warfare.
so here's the thing.
Warfare.
It's like in the 40s they blamed the Nazis, and then they blamed the communists, and so now everything is Russia.
And also you might be interested to know, in case you missed this little tidbit, that President-elect Trump, does not sound odd, President-elect Trump picked millionaire oil boss Rex Tillerson, who has close ties with Putin, to be his Secretary of State.
Love it.
Yeah.
That's my peeps.
And then speaking of the UK, apparently in the UK they now have 3-parent babies approved.
I told you this already.
No, we talked about it.
I discussed it a long time ago.
We did, but they just approved it. I also talked
I don't
about
care
it.
if they approved or not, they did it.
But now it's just been approved. No, the first one is scheduled to be born at the end of 2017.
Listen to me. They already did it.
Well, they're now telling us publicly. Apparently this is, they're going to be making it possible to make a baby from 2 women and 1 man through in vitro fertilization. It's intended to prevent children being born with certain fatal genetic diseases. That's what they tell us. It's called mitochondrial donation.
No, it's called genetic manipulation.
So you take a mitochondria from an unhealthy mother out, and you put one in from a healthy mother.
Like from the Virgin Mary, right.
So anyway, it says the UK is probably not the first country in the world to have children born this way.
Right.
That in April, a Jordanian couple and doctors in New York claimed they performed the procedure in Mexico, and that child was supposedly born April 6th.
With 3 parents.
Yes.
It's Jordanian, Mexican, and American.
I guess. And then moving on to Oxford.
It's a Jordanian Mex-American.
In Oxford now, they are recommending, or requiring actually, because according to Oxford University's behavior code, using the wrong pronoun
Yeah, I heard about that.
to define a transgender person is an offense.
I heard.
So instead of he and she, they want it to be Z, I guess.
Yeah,
Z-E.
the French have been way ahead. The person who's over there, they've been doing that for years.
Yeah, so I guess they're ahead.
Yeah, it's normal.
So anyway, they want you to use Z, and students hope that the use of pronouns will move to lectures and seminars. So this is how they change
And do people
things.
who are Z, do they get their own Z bathroom?
I don't know.
We need to use Z bathroom.
Because this is now going to be an offense, and this is what happens. First of all, they start in the schools, and then pretty soon, if it's done at home, then it's not considered politically correct.
It's just bizarre.
Yeah.
Just ridiculous waste of energy.
And then do you remember last week I told you about that picture of Rihanna with her niece, then they were both naked kissing on the lips?
Yeah.
Okay. And we talked about how this is an introduction to pedophilia. Of course, a naked female with a naked female child, there's, isn't that sweet? Well, following on the heels of that, we now have that singer, I think she's a singer called Pink.
Pink.
And she's pregnant. And they showed her topless, and with her daughter naked, and the daughter with her hands around the pregnant belly. And then the 37-year-old singer captioned the photos, "The snuggle is real." I think that's like a code for
No, they also
pedophilia.
had another actress who was kissing her son on the lips. I think she took him on a trip and she was kissing him on the lips, and everybody said it was terrible, and she got very offended.
How old was the son?
He's
Do you remember?
toddler.
A toddler?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the point, is like I said, pedophilia is coming. Rape is a part of the up-and-coming things.
Listen,
Pedophilia.
no child should be kissed on the lips by anybody,
And then on top of that, with a naked adult. I mean,
clothed or not. It's not acceptable.
yeah. So unless you're in the South Seas and you just don't wear clothes, like you're from a tribe that doesn't wear clothes or something, that's a different thing.
Really? You know, most aliens don't wear clothing.
No, there you go. And most of them, though, don't have any sexual
I'm not
stuff.
wearing pants right now.
I know. But I wasn't going to mention
You
it.
want me to stand up?
Go for it.
They have to pay extra for that.
Yeah, they have to come to your January class?
No, they just have to pay extra.
All right. If you want to pay extra. Anyway, I wanted to remind people that this is a good time of year if you're looking for Christmas gifts, holiday gifts of any kind. We have the welcome package. We have Decoding Your Life. We have Stewart Says. We have the Hyperspace Helper. And they all fit into one package. And along with that, we give you personal particulars, which tells you what your T-bar is. It tells you the chakra band that
Colors,
needs...
numbers.
The chakra band that needs the most work.
Affirmation.
You get an affirmation. I mean, we do colors too in that one?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So, anyway, it's called the Welcome Package. You can look it up, expansions.com. But this is a great gift for yourself if you don't have it. You're new to expansions.com. Or if you want to give a last-minute item to somebody, if it's something you need, rush right away, let us know. And then also I want to remind people, it's been a long time, Montauk, the Alien Connection. This is your autobiography.
Yes, right.
And you wrote this, actually, do you realize almost 20 years ago?
No.
Yeah, 1998 was when it was published.
Really?
Yeah, I think it was 98 or 99.
Wow.
So this has been out for a long time. And this is actually not our book. This book was published by Sky Books because at that time we didn't have the funding to make our own book. So, and Sky Books wrote about you under the alias of Stan Campbell.
In the earlier books.
In the earlier Montauk series of books. So if you haven't read Stewart's autobiography, it's interesting. And you might want to get caught up on that during the cold winter months.
I know, it's not even winter yet.
And actually, I think if you put that in, we could actually get 4 books in one envelope.
And
So-
maybe I could squeeze in 2.
Maybe. So, with that said, I want to invite you to our January class. It is our most intense class of the year.
Yeah.
And it only happens one time a year. And once you have taken our January class, you are eligible to sign up for our Oversoul Mastermind group,
OMG.
which is the group that is the most involved with the deepest level of work that we have to offer.
And in 2017, I'm going to be doing a lot more work on a much higher level.
Yes, well, because the group gets bigger and better.
There's no time for anything else now.
So, and we meet once a month via webinar. We meet in January and in September. You have access to our personal email addresses. We have money-making opportunities for you if you're interested in that. We have a lot of opportunities for OMG. We have a private forum where we discuss private things. So anyway, Oversoul Mastermind group, but you have to take the January class first. It's only offered once a year, and OMG only opens up for applications once a year.
Correct.
So, anything else that we want to tell them? Oh,
Probably.
keep in mind, in June of 2017, I will be taking another tour into the Waldensian area of northern Italy. This is where the tourists don't go, and we hike where the tourists don't go. So,
And then,
from
from there,
there, we've been invited to present in Moscow, and
my
we
peeps again.
have been invited to go back to Armenia.
Maybe the Russians can hack into all of their emails and sign them up.
No, maybe they will. So anyway, we have lots of things going on. You will be in Poland in April. I want to remind them.
And Germany.
And Germany, and I know in Poland, I believe the personal consultations are already sold out.
They're already sold out, people.
And in fact, they've already had to get a bigger venue because the seats were close to being sold out. So if you want to get a seat in the new venue,
And my friend Laura Eisenhower has agreed to speak at the conference as well.
Fantastic. So it's going to be a fabulous conference
Yes.
in Poland in April. And of course, it will be given in English and then translated into Polish. So if you're English speaking, you can come. And if you're Polish speaking, you can come.
Well,
Right?
yes, of course.
Because it's going to be in Poland.
Duh.
So anyway, we've had people ask us that. So it's going to be in both languages. So it's going to be a fascinating event. And if you're already in Europe, it's very handy to get there.
Yeah, so look to speedstar.com.pl as well as expansions.com.
Yeah, and it's on our Facebook page and it's on our site and so on and so forth.
What about our news site?
And we have Zazzle, which has all kinds of archetype things on it. So they're also good gifts. Zazzle.com. You have to look at our Facebook page because we don't have it on our site yet. But we have hoodies and we have computer pads and we have pillows and mugs and hats and phone cases, a wide variety of archetypes. So keep your eyes open because we keep expanding. Expansions.com.
That's right. I'm sure there was something else I had
That's
to
it.
tell them, but
That's it.
I can't
Say
remember
goodbye.
what it is. Bye.
Bye.